Now that we know more about the founder of structuralism, let's learn more about what it is and the methods that were used to study the elements of the mind. So we know that Titchener founded structuralism, but what exactly is it? It's the study of the mind's structures, the elements of the mind, and how these elements combine to form complex mental processes and behaviors. Structuralists tended to focus on things like sensation and perception, but their overarching goal was to analyze structures. Titchener said that structural psychology was a lot like anatomy. Anatomy is the study of the body's structures, bones, organs, veins. Structural psychology is the study of the mind's structures, sensations, feelings, and images. He also identified some of the attributes or descriptors of these three elements. Sensations, he thought, combined to create perception. Sensation is the basis of perception, according to Titchener. Images combine to form thought, ideas. Feelings combine to form emotions. So according to Titchener, we have three basic elements. All of the mental processes, all of the behaviors that we exhibit are based on these three elements. Sensations and images share the same attributes. They both can be described using thousands of different qualities, intensities, durations, and they both have variance in terms of their clarity. Different sensations are clearer than others, different images are clearer than others. Affects, feelings have slightly different qualities. We can describe them in terms of their pleasantness or their unpleasantness. We can look at intensity, just like we can look at intensity with the other two, duration as well, but not in terms of clarity. He reserved clearness for sensations and images. Apparently, emotions do not differ in terms of their clarity. Remember that these are Titchener's ideas, not modern psychology's ideas. Structuralists relied on introspection. Titchener specifically used this method to conduct both his qualitative and his quantitative studies. His method of introspection was more precise than Kolpe's and Wundt's methods. They both had different versions. Titchener's was, of course, more precise because he was drawn to the preciseness of the lab. The main difference between Titchener's method of introspection and the methods of the other two is that Titchener trained his participants. Before they were ever allowed to participate in this study, they had to undergo a training program. They had to learn how to introspect according to Titchener's standards. After training, he would present different types of stimuli and record how they responded. He might show them a pen, for example, and ask them to describe the experience of perceiving this pen. They could use any word on the planet except for the word pen. Most of us probably would not describe feelings when it comes to pens. Most of us don't have feelings, but we might describe sensations and we might describe images of the pen. Emotions, probably not, unless you really love pens. I do really love a good gel pen, so I might describe happiness. Can we experience something and describe it accurately at the same time? Experience, describe. Can you look at something and verbally explain what you're seeing, the sensations, the images, the feelings? Some people really struggled to do this. Some of his participants were not good at it. So he developed a training program, trained them how to introspect. In order to combat their struggles, he had three strategies that he taught all of his participants to use, all of his observers to use. One, he taught them how to remember the different attributes: quality, duration, intensity, clarity. Two, he taught them how to break the experience into different sections, different stages. He called this fractionation. Three, he taught them how to develop an introspective habit, which was essentially a way of taking notes, taking mental notes while participants experienced the stimuli, and do it without interfering with that experience, with consciousness. These three strategies, he said, made introspection more precise, standardized, and objective.